Welcome to Birdseeds, and as always, thank you so much for listening. So last night I was on Facebook, and an article or a story popped up, and it really kind of rang true to me. So I sent it to a few of my friends, acquaintances, coaches, things like that. So some of you may have already read this article or this quote. I'm going to put quotes in quotes, and I made the decision last night. This is what I was going to talk about on today's episode of Birdseeds. I did a little bit of research on this topic prior to recording and realized it is most likely a total fake. We're still going to talk about it. We're going to attribute it to anonymous now because it appears that it probably was not the original person that said this in their dying days. So who am I talking about? Steve Jobs. So there's a post that goes around, apparently it's been going around since like 2015, that attributes some of the last words that Steve Jobs said. According to Snopes, according to a bunch of other articles I read, it's probably not true. Now, I have a little bit of issue with how they proved it not to be true. Family members have said his last words were, "Oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow," while he was looking at his family in the room. And that probably was his final words, right? I mean, in your final moments when you're dying of cancer, you're probably not able to put full sentences together. And that sentiment rings really true. And it kind of ties back into what is attributed to being some of his final words. So do I think this could have been on his deathbed? No, I don't think that at all. Maybe was it in the days or the weeks or even the months leading to it when he's really processing his life? Yeah, that would make sense to me. But so far it looks like it's totally fake. None of the family members have ever said that he actually said this. But we're going to talk about it anyway, and we're going to talk about it from anonymous because of that. I'm also going to go into a story, a lesson I learned from Tom Ferry directly, and what that meant to me. And all this kind of ties into the 5 buckets, the redefinition of success. So what is this? So again, Steve Jobs, founder of Apple, died at 56. He was a billionaire, obviously. Died of pancreatic cancer. It's absolutely awful. And I remember hearing that news and hearing him being so ill and thinking, man, money can't save you, right? Like, you have access to the best doctors in the world, to whatever medicines, doesn't matter the cost. You're a billionaire. You can do anything you want to do. And it was still pretty much as soon as he was diagnosed with it, it's a death sentence. So I just remember hearing that very distinctly when it happened and thinking, wow, money does not solve all problems at the end of the day. So again, this is what is attributed to Steve Jobs, most likely falsely. And I'm just going to read the article or the essay to you, and then we're going to go through and talk about it. So, I reached the pinnacle of success in the business world. In others' eyes, my life is the epitome of success. However, aside from work, I have little joy. In the end, my wealth is only a fact of life that I'm accustomed to. At this moment, lying on my bed and recalling my life, I realize that all the recognition and wealth that I took so much pride in have paled and become meaningless in the face of my death. You can employ someone to drive a car for you, make money for you, but you cannot have someone bear your sickness for you. Material things lost can be found or replaced, but there's one thing that can never be found when it's lost: life. Whichever stage in life you're in right now, with time, you will face the day when the curtain falls. Treasure love for your family, love for your spouse, love for your friends. Treat yourself well and cherish others. As we grow older and hopefully wiser, we realize that a $3,000 or a $30 watch both tell the same time. You will realize that your true inner happiness does not come from the material things of this world. Whether you fly first class or economy, if the plane goes down, you go down with it. Therefore, I hope you realize when you have your mates, buddies, old friends, brothers, sisters, who you chat, laugh with, talk with, sing with, talk about north, south, east, west, or heaven and earth, that is true happiness. Don't educate your children to be rich. Educate them to be happy, so when they grow up, they will know the value of things and not the price. Eat your food as medicine, otherwise you will eat medicine as your food. The one who loves you will never leave you for another, because even if there are 100 reasons to give up, he or she will find a reason to hold on. There's a big difference between a human being and being human. Only a few really understand it. You are loved when you were born. You will be loved when you die. In between, you have to manage. The six best doctors in the world are sunlight, rest, exercise, diet, self-confidence, and friends. Maintain them in all stages and enjoy a healthy life. Boom, right? Like, It's right up my alley of everything I'm trying to sort of reanalyze in my life and to look back and what success was. It's all this right here, right? It's not just the financial success or the business success, or as I call it, my provider success. It's being present. It's being in the moment. We only have so many moments, so be in that moment, right? Give it your all. Love hard. And that's always going to provide for you. Will always provide for you. Money comes and goes. Health doesn't. Love doesn't. Right? Like those are the things. And the happier you are, the healthier you are. So I fully believe all that. It's funny. I love the comment here about the watch, the $3,000 or $30 watch. I had just started getting into watches, and I didn't have a $3,000 watch or anything, but I had a couple of very nice watches, and I kind of gave up on that, and I wear an Apple Watch now, just because of the utility of it, right? It does a lot of things. It helps me track my fitness and my steps and all that kind of stuff. So to me, that means more than a fancy watch. Obviously, it's more than $30, but it's not $3,000 either. So yeah, I would love to hear what your thoughts on that. Again, I like to think Steve Jobs did say that. We're going to have to just quote that as anonymous because, maybe not. But I teased that we were going to talk about the other thing that I learned from Tom Ferry, which is right up this alley. So I had a private meeting with Tom Ferry. Let's call it a semi-private. I won a contest through the Tom Ferry coaching organization, and I got on a call with a select few people, one-on-one or one-on whatever, five, whatever it was, with Tom. And I have struggled, and I even knew in this time frame where I was just, my success was defined by being the provider, I still knew and still struggled with the balance. It wasn't like I didn't want the balance. It's just that wasn't where I let myself go, because my whole definition of success was not the rest of it. I struggled with it, and that's really the key of why I struggled with it. But I asked him that question. This probably would have been 2016, maybe, somewhere in that window, 2016, 2017. I said, how do you keep your business up and set boundaries and be more present at home? Like, how can you do that? How can you avoid the burnout? I don't know. I feel like I've been successful and I've done a lot, but I'm having a hard time balancing. And he told me a story. I'm assuming it's true. Who knows? But he told me a story about a friend's dad who was the number one insurance salesman in whatever market he was in. So I don't know, life insurance or car insurance, doesn't matter. Let's just say for the purpose of the story, it was, car and casualty insurance. Property insurance. Was the number one salesperson in the whole state and the whole region, was famous for it. And Tom went to his funeral. He had passed away. Tom went to his funeral. And he said, it really stuck out to me that not one single person in the room talked about his insurance business. Not one single person got up there for the eulogy and said he was the greatest insurance salesman in the world. Not even that he took care of his customers and that's why he was great at it. None of that. They talked about how he gave his life. He was active in the church and volunteered and was always there to pick you up if you needed to be picked up or do whatever. That's all they talked about at his funeral, was the person that he was. Had nothing to do with his success in his business. All about his person. That rang so true to me and has stuck with me all these years, because I was working to be the best real estate agent I could possibly be. I was working to get to a certain level of income. I was doing all those things. And I wasn't taking care of my health. So if I had, died because of that, nobody's would have looked back and been like, he was the best real estate agent. And what were they going to say? Because I was so dedicated to that. I'm hoping, as I continue to work through this route, people will say, he's good at real estate, but he cares about people. He's creative. He works hard. He provides for his family. He is there for his kids. He's always taking them to their sports. He's there for his wife. That's what I want people to remember me for and think about. When they see me or hear me, that's what I want. And sure, being great at business, awesome. Got to make money. That's the truth. But it's more than that. So I hope you found some value out of this. And I would love to hear your opinion if you think that Steve Jobs actually said that, or if it's just totally fake. Who knows? If it's on the internet, it's got to be real, right? Thanks for listening. Birdseeds. Have a wonderful day.